Hi and welcome to another episode of
Breaking Down the Deck!
And today we're closing off Halloween season with our last Halloween spooky deck. Yeah, we have to make room for more, holidays that are coming up. But today I will be doing a deck tag on Linda, Kandorian Queen, the Evil Dead art.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Which is Varina, Lich Queen. But yeah, this is actually the only secret layer that I have ever bought.
Is this true? Wow.
Yeah. And this was a while ago. So I haven't really upgraded the deck since I built the deck for... Yeah, it has been a while now. And I remember this was the first deck that David actually borrowed and played with when he first started playing Magic. We were like, you know what, borrow this deck, it's zombies. He likes spooky things and zombies, and yeah, that's what got him into Commander. So yeah.
We got another one.
But yeah, so I can read what Linda does. So for one generic and Esper colors, Zombie Wizard. Whenever I attack with one or more zombies, I draw that many cards, and then discard that many cards, and I gain that much life. And for 2 generic, I can exile 2 cards from my graveyard and create a tapped 2/2 black zombie tokens. So there is so much value.
Wow.
Commander. Yeah, you get like everything.
That's really sick. That's a really sick commander. And not only that, the Esper color make it really, really good.
Yeah, that is true, because you have protection in white, and you can have exile in white, and blue, you have enchantments like maybe propaganda and you have card draw. And in black, of course, you have a lot of zombies. You have murder, you have death, you have graveyard synergy. So yeah, this is one of the few decks that I don't mind being milled. I don't really like being milled, but in this case, it's fine.
It's fine.
Mill me.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Wow. Okay, that's kind of sick, yo.
But yeah, I think you should check out what I have in this deck.
You know what? I really want to see. So show me what you got.
Yes. Yeah, so this is my Linda, Kandorian Queen, Evil Dead deck, even though there are I think 6 Evil Dead cards from the secret layer. As I said, this was the first and only secret layer that I have ever bought. I'm excited to see if I ever buy one again, which one it will be. But yes, so this is Varina Lich Queen. So for 1 generic and then Esper colors, Zombie Wizard. Whenever you attack with 1 or more zombies, I draw that many cards, then discard that many cards, and I gain that much life. And I can pay 2 and exile 2 cards from my graveyard and create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So there's lots of things going on in this one. There's card advantage, then you can fill your graveyard, you can gain life, you can create tokens. So I really like this commander, but let's see which zombies I do have. The first one is Flashback Marauder. For 2 generic, 1 black, it's a zombie warrior. And when Flashback Marauder enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. Just filling up my graveyard and getting rid of other people's stuff as well. Then we have the Hordewing Scab. For 4 generic, 1 blue. Zombie horror, flying. Other zombies you control have flying, which is super cool. Whenever 1 or more zombies you control deal damage to 1 or more of your opponents, you may draw cards equal to the number of opponents dealt damage this way. If you do, discard that many cards. Some card draw, some filling up my graveyard. Good stuff. Unbreathing Horde. For 2 generic, 1 black. Just zombie. This enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it for each other zombie you control and each zombie card in your graveyard. If Unbreathing Horde will be dealt damage, prevent that damage and remove a +1/+1 counter from it. So this is why I need to fill up my graveyard to get zombies entering with lots of +1 counters and doing shenanigans. Then we have Siege Zombie, 1 generic, 1 black. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Each opponent loses 1 life. So I can do this many times. If I have many tokens, then yeah, people will be losing life. I usually do it in the end step, the opponent who is before me. That's fun. Then we have the Spark Reaper. For 2 generic, 1 black. For 3, I can sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. I can gain a life and draw a card. If I'm in a pickle or I just need to gain a life or draw a card, find an answer, I can do this. Then we have the Diregraph Colossus. For 2 generic, 1 black, it's a zombie giant. Diregraph Colossus enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it for each zombie card in your graveyard. So another graveyard synergy. Whenever you cast a zombie spell, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. Yeah, getting me some tokens. Then we have the Plague Belcher. For 2 generic, 1 black. It's a zombie beast. Menace. When it enters the battlefield, I put 2 -1 counters on target creature you control. And whenever another zombie control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So now it's okay to sacrifice zombies, or if my opponents kill my zombies, then they will lose a life. Then we have Champion of the Perished for 1 black. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1 counter on Champion of the Perished. So hopefully this can get really big with me creating tokens. Then we have Rot-Tide Gargantua for 3 generic, 2 black. It's a zombie kraken. It has exploit, so when this creature enters the battlefield, I may sacrifice a creature. And when this creature exploits a creature, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So good to get rid of some of my opponent's stuff. We have the Headless Rider, 2 generic, 1 black. When Headless Rider or another non-token zombie control dies, I create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Then we have Gary, of course, Grey Merchant of Asphodel, 3 generic, 2 black. When Gary enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black, and I gain life equal to the life lost this way. Yeah, some good life drain, life gain. Then we have Gravecrawler for 1 black. Gravecrawler can't block. You may cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie. It's good I can just keep bringing back Gravecrawler from my graveyard. Then we have Caged Zombie, 2 generic, 1 black. For 1 generic, 1 black, I can tap it, and each opponent loses 2 life. Activate this ability only if a creature died this turn. Then we have the Tomb Tyrant for 3 generic and 1 black. It's a zombie noble. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. 2 generic, 1 black. I can tap it and sacrifice a creature. Then I return a zombie creature card at random from my graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only during my turn and only if there are at least 3 zombie creature cards in your graveyard. Then we have the Cemetery Reaper for 1 generic, 2 black. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. 2 generic, 1 black. I can tap it and exile target creature card from a graveyard, doesn't have to be my graveyard, and create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Then we have the Death Baron for 1 generic, 2 black. It's a zombie wizard. Skeletons you control and other zombies you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. Then we have the Lord of the Accursed for 2 generic, 1 black. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. You see, I have a lot of ways to pump up my zombies. Lots of cards with other zombies you control get +1/+1. 1 generic, 1 black. I can tap it, and all zombies gain menace until end of turn, which is great if I have a lot of 2/2 black zombie tokens in play. Then we have the Diregraph Captain. 1 generic, 1 black, and 1 blue. Zombie Soldier. Death Touch. Other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1. And whenever another zombie you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life. Then we have the Haven Ghoul Leech for 3 generic and Demir colors. Zombie Wizard. I can pay 1, and I may cast target creature card in a graveyard at this turn. When you cast it this turn, Haven Ghoul Leech gains all activated abilities of that card until end of turn. Then we have Liliana's Reaver for 2 generic, 2 black, Death Touch. When this creature deals combat damage to player, that player discards a card, and I create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Then we have the Blade Stitch Scab. the mirror colors, zombie soldier. Other zombies you control get +1/+0, just a little buff. And for my final one, we have Liliana's Elite. For 2 generic and 1 black, Liliana's Elite gets +1/+1 for each creature card in my graveyard. Okay, let's see some other creatures that I have that aren't zombies, but that are fun as well. We have Vila, the Nightclad, 4 generic in the mirror colors, human wizard. It has Intimidate, so this creature can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and/or creatures that share a color with it. Other creatures you control have Intimidate, very powerful, and whenever Vila the Nightclad or another creature you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Then we have Lampad of Death's Vigil, 1 generic, 1 black. It's an enchantment creature, it's a nymph. For 1, I can sacrifice a creature and each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. It's always fun to drain our opponents. Then we have Eye Collector, fairy, flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, each player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. And for, my deck, that is really good. 4th is Shadowcat Familiar, 2 generic, 1 black. It's a nightmare cat. Looks a little bit like my cat Appy. That is why I have this card, but I really like it. Commanders you control have Menace and Death Touch. Just some extra protection for my commander. Then we have the Deathbringer Leech for 2 generic, and I can pay 3 white or 3 black or mix them. It's a horror. Other white creatures you control get +1/+1. Other black creatures you control gets +1/+1. And whenever I cast a white spell, I may tap target creature. Whenever I cast a black spell, I may destroy target creature if it's tapped. Then we have Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, 2 generic, 1 black. Whenever I gain life, target opponent loses that much life. For 3 generic, 2 black, creatures I control gain lifelink until end of turn. Then we have Gisa and Geralf. I have 2 generic and the mirror colors. You might recognize this one from our zombie gameplay where this was David's commanders. Human wizard. When Gisa and Geralf enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a zombie creature spell from your graveyard. And then we have Ash, Destined Survivor. 2 white, which is the Pure Steel Paladin. It's a human knight. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Equipment you control have equipped 0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. I mean, this isn't really that big of a deal in this deck, but I just wanted to put in every Evil Dead card in this deck, just for the flavor. Okay, and then we can check out my only Planeswalker that I have in this deck. So here is Liliana, Untouched by Death, 2 generic, 2 black. Mill +1, mill 3 cards. If at least 1 zombie card is milled this way, each opponent loses 2 life, and I gain 2 life. -2, target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of zombies you control. -3, you may cast zombie spells from your graveyard this turn. And then we can see some fun enchantments that I have. We can start with a pacifism. 1 generic, 1 white. It's an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. This is great. If someone has a scary commander or scary big creature or anything, maybe something is unblockable. Yeah. Then we have Rooftop Storm. For 5 generic, 1 blue. I may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for zombie creature spells I cast. This is amazing. Just playing free zombie spells. Yeah. Then we have Liliana's Mastery. For 3 generic, 2 black. Zombies you control get +1/+1. And when Liliana's Mastery enters the battlefield, I create 2 black zombie creature tokens. Then we have Spirit Link for 1 white. It's an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, I gain that much life. So this is a good to put on my commander, since I already gain life from her, so I can gain even more life when I deal damage. Then we have Endless Ranks of the Dead, 2 generic, 2 black. At the beginning of my upkeep, I create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, where X is half the number of zombies you control, rounded down. And then we have a curse. It's the Curse of Disturbance, for 2 generic, 1 black, or a curse. Enchant player. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. This gives me, some politicking. I can be like, well, if you attack that opponent instead, you will get a zombie token. You get creatures. Then we have Font of Vigor, for 1 generic, 1 white. For 2 generic and 1 white, I can sacrifice this one and gain 7 life if I'm in a pickle or I'm in a desperate situation. And then we have a Propaganda. For 2 generic, 1 blue, creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 generic for each creature they control that's attacking you. Yeah, if someone has scary things, and I mean, maybe I can't deal with it at the moment, so Propaganda is always nice. Then we can check out my sorceries. Here we have Ghoul's Night Out. It's 3 generic, 2 black. For each player, choose a creature card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under my control. They're black zombies in addition to their other colors and types, and they gain Decayed. A creature with Decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. We have Hour of Eternity. It has XX and 3 blue. Exile X target creature cards from my graveyard. For each card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. We have a Deep Analysis. For 3 generic, 1 blue. Target player draws 2 cards. It has Flashback. For 1 generic and 1 blue, I pay 3 life. And I may cast this card from my graveyard for its flashback cost and then exile it. We have Nobis Incantation, another Evil Dead card. For 3 generic and 3 black, it is Zombie Apocalypse. Return all zombie creature cards from my graveyard to the battlefield tapped, then destroy all humans. And we have Army of the Damned. 5 generic, 3 black. I create 13 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, and it has flashback for 7 generic and 3 black. Then we have a really cool art, which is Living Dead. A Living Death. Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacrifices all creatures they control, then puts all cards they exile this way onto the battlefield. So you do a switch, which can be really fun if my graveyard is filled with stuff and I don't have a lot of things on my, in my battlefield. So this is amazing. Then we have Bone Splinters for 1 black. As an additional cost to cast a spell, I sacrifice a creature. Destroy target creature. We have a Distant Melody for 3 generic and 1 blue. Choose a creature type. I draw a card for each permanent I control of that type. Just some extra card draw. And my final one, another Evil Dead card. Destroy the Dead. For 6 generic and 2 white, it's Vanquish the Horde. And this spell costs 1 generic less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. So usually you only have to pay 2 white for this one. Okay, let's move on to some instants. The first one is Sandblast. 2 generic, 1 white. Sandblast deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Then we have Undermine. 2 blue, 1 black. Counter target spell. Its controller loses 3 life. Not only do I counter their spell, but they lose life. Great. And then we have Murder. 1 generic, 2 black. Destroy target creature. Offer Immortality. For 1 generic, 1 black. Target creature gains death touch and indestructible until end of turn. We have a Frantic Search for 2 generic and 1 blue. I draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards and untap up to 3 lands. Then we have a Path to Exile for 1 white. Exile target creature. Its controller may search the land for a basic land card, put the card onto battlefield tapped, then shuffle their library. Then we have a Sinister Sabotage for 1 generic, 2 blue. Counter target spell, then I surveil 1. We have a Cast Down, 1 generic, 1 black. Destroy target non-legendary creature. We have an Overwhelming Remorse, 4 generic, 1 black, but it costs 1 generic less to cast for each creature card in my graveyard. Exile target creature or planeswalker, so it could potentially cost 1 black. And it also can exile planeswalkers. Yeah. Shielded Passage for 1 white. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to target creature this turn. Then we have Oven Ice for 1 generic, 1 blue. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 0/1. And we can move on to some artifacts. There aren't a lot, just a few. First we have another Evil Dead one, a Shovel of Decapitation for 1 generic. It's the Colossus Hammer. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying, but it costs 8 to equip. Then we have Grimoire of the Dead for 4 generic. It's a legendary artifact. For 1, I can tap it and discard a card and put a study counter on Grimoire of the Dead. Then I can tap it and remove 3 study counters from Grimoire of the Dead and sacrifice it. I put all creature cards from all graveyards into battlefield under your control, and they're black zombies in addition to their other colors and types. Then we have a Witch's Cauldron for 1 black. 1 generic, 1 black. I can tap it and sacrifice a creature. I gain a life and I draw a card. Then for 3 generic, Darksteel Ingot. Indestructible, add 1 mana of any color. And my last one, the classic one, Soul Ring. 1 generic, it adds me to colorless. Okay, let's move on to some lands. The special lands first. Here we have a Silver Quill Campus. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can add a white or a black, but I can pay for and scry 1. Then we have the Tranquil Cove. It enters the battlefield tapped, but when it enters the battlefield, I gain 1 life. I can add a white or a blue. We have an Azorius Guildgate. It enters tapped, but I can add a white or a blue. We have the Dismal Backwater. Enters the battlefield tapped, but when it enters the battlefield, I gain a life. I can add a black or a blue. Then we have the Barren Moor. It comes in tapped, and I can add a black to my mana pool, but I can also cycle this card. For 1 black, I can discard this card and draw a card. I have the Scoured Barrens. It enters the battlefield tapped, but when it does, I gain 1 life. I can add a white or a black. Then we have a Command Tower. I can add 1 mana of any color in my commander's color identity. We have Temple of the Seat. It enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, I scry 1. Can add a blue or a black. Then we have Jvar Isle Refuge. It enters the battlefield tapped, but when it enters the battlefield, I gain 1 life, and I can add a blue or a black. We have the Sunken Hollow. It enters the battlefield tapped unless I control 2 or more basic lands, and I can add a blue or a black. Then we have an Evil Dead one, actually. It's Cabin of the Dead, which is Field of the Dead. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can add a colorless, but whenever Cabin of the Dead or another land enters the battlefield under my control, if I control 7 or more lands with different names, I create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Then we have the Razor Tide Bridge. It enters the battlefield tapped. It's indestructible, and I can add a white or a blue. I have the Idyllic Grange. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more other planes. And when it enters the battlefield untapped, I put a +1 counter on target creature I control. Then we have a Salt Marsh. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can add a blue or a black. Then we have Hollymoor Depths. It enters the battlefield tapped. But when it's entered the battlefield, I look at the top 3 cards on my library, then put them back in any order. I can add a blue. We have Submerged Boneyard. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can add a blue or a black. And the final one is Choked Estuary. When it enters the battlefield, I may reveal an island or swamp card from my hand. If I don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. It can add me a blue or a black. And then I of course have some basics. I have 5 planes here. I have 8 swamps, because I do have a lot more black cards. And then we have 5 islands. And I of course also want to show you some tokens before we go. So here we have a really good looking Evil Dead zombie token. Love this one. And then we have the zombie army, we have treasure, zombie. Until we get to the last one. Yeah, this one. This is a really cool zombie token from Lunarium. So yeah, if you want more of these types of tokens, you can check out Lunarium. Yeah, so that was my Linda Kandarian Queen Evil Dead zombie deck. Of course, let me know in the comments how you have built Varina Lich Queen, and if there are any zombie cards you think I should put in here or take out. Of course, let me know. But back to me and Andres in the studio. Yeah, so that was my zombie deck, or yeah, I think this is my only zombie deck. I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that was my only zombie deck.
Well, I really love it, because you have a lot of zombie synergy with that, a lot of great research, and come back, destroy, come back again. I really love it.
That is true.
And rooftop,
yeah, that
is so sick.
I know, it's so powerful. It's like, okay, if I draw many cards, I can just, you know, bring out all the zombie cards for free.
It's like how much mana was it? Like 6, 7? Who cares? It's commander. If you survive so long,
yeah,
every zombie becomes like a cantrip or whatever. It's an amazing value card.
Exactly. So as long as you have the mana just to pay for that enchantment and no one, you know, counters that,
yeah,
so you're good to go.
You're super good to go. Yes. You're so good to go. It's really win against someone who would have that enchantment.
I mean,
in play.
It is a win con basically.
Yeah.
Alternative win way, of course. But yeah, I have been having a lot of fun with this deck, and I think I want to upgrade it a little bit. So I'm looking for some suggestions for good zombie cards. I want some more zombie creatures. Of course, let me know. Yeah. And
not only that, I really respect it that you have like the whole Evil Dead stash in there.
I mean, I had to.
It's just for the flavor.
Yeah, of course, just for the flavor. I mean, it's not like the best synergy cards, but hey, maybe I will get, you know, the Colossus Hammer on Linda and just swing. Who knows? Especially if she has
you mean the shovel on Linda hand.
That is true, yeah, the shovel. Yeah, so
I just remember that thing from Evil Dead now. I love it. Also, one thing they have done with the Secret Lair is like the showcase, like the movie edition, like the Evil Dead. It's so much fun. I really love it. I really love like the new edition of Jaws, maybe, because it remind me so much of the Jaws movie, because I'm really a big fan of Jaws movie.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of Secret Lairs that look fun and have good flavor cards.
Exactly.
But yeah, I can't of course order.
Oh no, they are so expensive.
But yeah, but I'm hoping maybe next year to order at least one.
Yeah.
That is my goal with Secret Lair for next year. Order one.
At least one, okay.
And hopefully it's a horror one. Yeah.
I really hope that too.
Yeah.
But Sarah, thank you so much. Before I'm so sorry.
What is
that beautiful token at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
Not a sponsor for the show, really important to say that, but a good friend to us.
Lunarium.
Lunarium.
We go there, we play there, we have fun, and yeah, if you're in Sweden, in Stockholm, you should definitely check out that place. You can play any type of board game, and Magic, and it's fun.
It's super fun.
And you can also buy boosters and get these amazing tokens.
Exactly. So if you're like in Stockholm's area, so please stand by Eleonorium.
Yeah.
Go check her art out in Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Maybe order one or two. So support her local business there.
And who knows, if you stumble in there, we might be playing.
Exactly.
You might want to join us for a game.
You welcome to join us.
Of course. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and happy spooky season.
Ooh.
Now we're moving on to colder climates, maybe some Christmas cheer soon in December.
Oh
But
yeah, Christmas. I totally forgot about that.
But yeah, in November there will be
Damn.
other gameplays, of
Yes.
course. Just special ones. We do have a Spider-Man upcoming.
Oh what?
Yeah. And of course we have the Gruul.
The Crew episode as well.
Yes,
and
Gruul Guild War.
not only that, the Spider-Man. We have like twisted, like which one is gonna play the best villains, which one gonna play the best heroes.
Yeah, so we have two
Spider-Mans coming up there.
Yeah. And of course there will be deck text there.
It will be deck text, so don't worry about it, people. But only that, have a nice spooky season.
Yeah.
And
we'll see you in the next one.
Exactly. Bye.